Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 233. I'm Connor Murphy here with Grace Matthews in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Grace. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
It's a political season, and we're down to the wire, and we kept thinking, will there be an October surprise? I mean, it's hard to believe that Trump wouldn't have one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it was looking a little meek, It looked like the October surprise was COVID-19.
Yeah,
I don't think
old
you
news.
planned that one.
No, old news.
Yeah, but this morning, the Post hits it, the New York Post, with big news.
Oh, okay.
About Hunter Biden, It seems that Hunter and his daddy, Joe Biden, who's running for president, might have told a little fib. Can you imagine that?
Oh, no kidding. Surprise.
Hunter, I want everyone to remember that Hunter has had issues with drugs and alcohol, and like every rich kid that's a drug addict, he sort of drops the ball a lot, right?
Right.
So apparently in 2018-19, he dropped his computer in water. Maybe in his bathtub. I don't know how he didn't kill himself, but sometimes those people that do a lot of drugs, they're just like unkillable. They just do all sorts of crazy stuff. And, we don't want him killed, but nevertheless, he takes it into the computer repair shop, right?
Okay.
Well, he forgets to pick it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So now we remember Hillary, pounded her computer with the hammer.
Right.
And then threw some bleach on it or something. Okay. I don't know whether that was, but someone took a hammer to it.
Okay.
I mean, they testified about that. Okay, so Hunter doesn't pick it up. So the computer repair shop eventually, I guess, sells it to the New York Post.
Oh.
And there is a treasure trove of emails on this baby. Between Hunter and his daddy, Joe Biden.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh, skettios.
Huh.
Seems Joe Biden did know about the Burisma deal. In fact, the Vadim Bazuharsky,
right,
the advisor to the board at Burisma,
okay,
went into D.C. and guess who took him to meet his daddy?
There you go.
Hunter. And Joe never met him, but yes, Joe did. And there's emails. There's all sorts of emails.
Well, we already knew that, but, this is good confirmation. But
today, Chris Wray and the FBI had to launch an investigation into Hunter Biden.
Okay, well, there you go.
Why didn't Chris Wray do this before? Well, I don't know. I think he is a big thorn in Trump's side. If Trump wins this election, he damn well better get rid of Christopher Wray. Because this should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, no kidding. With the little evidence they had, it still should have been looked into.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous. There is, let's see, an email from this Zaharsky, this advisor to Burisma. Thank you, Hunter, for inviting me to D.C. and give me the opportunity to meet your father. Now, how much more do you need?
Right.
Okay, that was May of 2014. And you're telling me that they didn't have enough at the FBI to launch this investigation before the Post broke this story today? BS, but I think this could be the October smoking gun.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise. Like, we knew
No.
that. We knew that, but, you know, I'd almost forgot about it already.
Well, I tell you how bad it is. At 8 o'clock this morning, you know, we are, what are we, 2.5, 3 weeks out from the election?
Right.
Joe Biden put a lid on the campaign. He was done for the day.
Right. Well, he's probably tired of speaking to 4 people in a parking lot.
Well, true, but I think he knew this was coming. And I think he knew it looked ugly.
I don't know if he knew whether he put his shoes on this morning.
Well, that's true. I mean, there's a video of him finishing a speech to his 4 people and turning around and going, where do I go now? Where do I go now? He's very confused. He's looking for his assistant and saying these things. So.
Well, no wonder Pelosi wants to change the 25th Amendment so that instantly the vice president would become president.
Well, yeah, and what's she want to do about herself?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but she is losing it. And today, Senator Collins of Georgia, he filed a proceeding against her to have her ruled incompetent.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's just a side note. I'm pretty sure it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
So anyway, Hunter Biden may get his dad in a lot of trouble, and it won't be the first time. And with a track record like that, it probably won't be the last time.
Right. Yeah.
But there are suddenly there's all sorts of letters floating around everywhere.
Wow. I wonder how much the Post paid for that computer.
I don't know. I did see one of the media people suggest that it was $2,000, but I think he just really meant the computer was worth $2,000. Here's Hunter getting paid $50,000 a month to do nothing, and this wasn't. We've got to remember this wasn't Hunter's only gig.
Right.
Okay, he had a good gig in China too. So,
okay.
You know, Hunter is pulling in the box. Of course, cocaine is very expensive, especially at the rate at which Hunter uses it. But the thing about it is, it's like everything. When you have an October surprise, the people that are in Biden's camp or, you know, are a Democrat, it's going to do nothing.
Right.
But those middle of the road people, it matters to them. Those independents and those undecided independents, now you got a little bit of a problem because at least 9 million people have already voted in early voting.
Right.
And I think that number's low. I think it's way higher than that. So this is a strange year. I just received, speaking of early voting, the Republicans have, of course, been against it because of tampering with ballots. It's a lot harder to tamper with ballots if you go vote in person. But I just got mail less than an hour ago, and they're asking for people of Missouri to request the ballots and vote by mail. The Republicans are.
Wow.
Now, I will say that Missouri has a absolutely horrible outbreak right now of coronavirus.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we are being very careful. It is tragically, we had a day where it was 2,000 cases in one day. And Missouri does not have a huge population.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is very crazy. And our hospitals here in Springfield are packed. They've had to open up more ICU units. We have about 9,000 active cases. And you got to remember, we're a city of 180,000. That does not take in the outskirts. Wow. So we are in a very bad place. We are in a coronavirus COVID-19 red zone.
I guess there is an advantage to living on an island in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, very much so. You are definitely at an advantage, and you and Kim Jong-un, he said yesterday nobody had gotten it there.
Well, he's like
they had no cases.
Technically, he's like our next door neighbor, right?
Yeah, I get it. So You guys are lucky when it comes to coronavirus. So, I never thought I would put you two in the same sentence, but you know.
There you go. You never know.
We are now joined by the Hammer.
Oh, hey, Hammer.
Hey.
How goes?
You know, better to be here than at work, but a lot more entertaining here today.
Yeah.
Good.
Sounds like a boring day. Well, I tell you what, it is pretty exciting on the East Coast today. The Coney Barrett hearings started Monday.
Oh, okay.
They are, as far as I know, still underway. She has been asked a lot of crazy questions by the Democrats. She's been given a lot of easy, cushy questions by the Republicans. You know, it's just the way these hearings go. As long as they can get this to a vote in the Senate before November 3rd, she's a shoo-in.
Right.
And we need that shoe. Because I don't think the Republicans are going to win the Senate. They're definitely not going to win the Congress.
Uh-oh.
And let me tell you, until this popped out, I was getting worried about the White House.
Wow.
I think this might very well be the edge we need.
Okay.
If the polls are right. Now, I mean, even if the polls are half right, I mean, going into this morning, before the Hunter Biden email drop came.
Right.
You're talking, they were saying that Joe Biden was ahead by 16% in Florida. Supposed to at least be purple.
Well,
sort of red, you know.
It may be the demographics of Florida, too. So you never know.
Yeah, well, the demographics are changing. I mean, you know, today they put an alert on South Carolina. It wasn't 2 weeks ago. Our son says, oh, he lives in South Carolina. There's no chance of it turning
right
blue. Let me tell you, because of demographics and people moving out of these states where they can't afford to live, no state is safe. And you go, well, I thought they were moving away because they couldn't afford the taxes and stuff, so why would they want to turn the state blue and pay more taxes? I don't know. It's not logical.
No, it's not. It makes no sense.
If you leave a state for, you know, that particular reason, why would you go to another state and not go, well, gee, maybe I want to go for the other party?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But then again, the Democrats don't make a lot of sense most of the time.
No, they don't. They really don't. But I will tell you this. As far as Coney Barrett goes, she could be our saving grace. She's intelligent. She doesn't even go in there with notes.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, she is amazing. She is not letting them get under her skin. She did talk about something interesting today. It's called servitude. And for example, everybody's worried, oh, they're going to take all of Obamacare away, and if you have a pre-existing condition, you know, you're gonna lose the ability to get health insurance.
Right.
Well, she was talking about the servitude, meaning a bill could be unconstitutional because of one part of it.
Right.
Okay? So say that Obamacare is unconstitutional because it requires you to buy this policy.
Right.
And
forces you.
You're right. And the federal government is not supposed to be able to. State government can.
Okay.
So say they take that part out and find a way for the rest of it to work and be constitutional. She is a great cheerleader for servitude of a bill. That could be the same on Roe versus Wade.
Oh, I see.
Abortion rights.
Right.
There are supposedly a couple parts of it that are unconstitutional. I don't think she is really out to abolish all these things. I think she is truly a constitutionalist.
Well, there you go.
That wants to make it right. And if we lose the Senate, the Congress, and the White House, she could be our saving grace as long as they don't try to start packing the court.
Right.
The good news you've got to remember is that there is a midterm election in 2 years.
Right.
And maybe they can't get a lot done in 2 years. But the most important thing you can do is go out and vote. And you know what? Even if you have to hold your nose.
Right.
Vote.
Get out there and vote.
Yeah, vote for democracy. Yeah, I believe this time you're not voting for Trump or a specific person in the Senate as much as you're voting for the democracy.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, if not, you might want to make sure you're not facing a vote for Harris.
Exactly, because
Joe won't make 4 years, even if he won. No way. His health. If you watch him try to walk up to the podium or wherever he's at, he's got the bad walk, and that's one of the things they can't hide.
Right.
And he's confused a lot.
Yes, very, very, very confused. And so, I definitely could not see Kamala Harris talking to the Russians or putting what's she going to do how's she going to handle China. I don't think.
Yeah, as far as foreign relations, she doesn't have a lot of experience with anything. I mean, she's a junior senator. She's been a prosecuting attorney that really made nobody happy. I mean, people that are defending her now hated her as a prosecutor, said she was too tough on crime. So she's going to come to the table with not very much. Now, Pelosi started this 25th Amendment committee.
Right.
And everybody goes, oh, she's going to try to take Trump out of office. No, she's putting this in place to take Joe Biden out of office and put Kamala Harris in.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like it's shaping up to be, for sure.
Exactly, which is something you predicted a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm still not sure they're not going to do a swap before the election.
Wow, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
After the Hunter Biden laptop thing with the New York Post, maybe we'll see that. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, and the one thing you've got with Harris is she is new blood. I mean, inexperience is new blood.
Right.
I mean, this party, who was it that said the other day that all these people are making decisions, they're going to live 15 more years, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, let's see, Pelosi's 80.
Yes.
It's crazy, but Amy Coney Barrett is 48. She is very important to the nation right now. I noticed that she had 6 bodyguards today.
Wow.
3 in front, 3 in back. Her family had another group.
Wow. Crazy.
And they hauled them in there separately. She is a graduate of Notre Dame. Her husband, Jesse Barrett, is a prosecutor. She has 7 kids. 2 are adopted from Haiti. And there's been a lot of really disturbing things said about her black children being poster children for her.
Or the one that I heard was that she was racist and trying to turn black kids white.
Yeah.
Which is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. I laughed at that. I thought it was so ridiculous.
So let's just hope they get the confirmation hearing finished before the election.
Yeah, absolutely.
Graham does have it on the docket for the 29th.
Wow.
Okay.
That's running it down to the last second, but That's still before the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Nancy Pelosi had a meltdown last night with Wolf Blitzer. Now,
Oh.
in case you've been living in a cave for the last 30 years, Wolf Blitzer is on CNN.
Right.
He asked her why she wouldn't pass the pure bill that President Trump wanted for a stimulus, due to the COVID-19. She wants, all these extra things in there. And Trump said, let's just pass the stimulus and argue about the extras later. She wouldn't do it. So now everybody's starting to blame her. And Wolf Blitzer asked her about it last night.
Okay.
And she went off on him saying he was, basically in the Republicans' camp. It's like, does she know what channel she was talking to?
Wow.
We were talking about, we think that Aunt Nancy forgot what channel she was on.
Yeah.
Well,
She thought she was on Fox.
yeah, that's plausible.
And forgot that she was on CNN because she jumped on him like a yard dog. I mean, she looked like she was going to come through the camera after him.
Wow.
Yeah, she did.
It's worth the watch.
And I've also got to wonder if she knew that the story was going to drop about Hunter today. But she did have a meltdown, and people are blaming her, though.
Good.
Why can't
rightly
you
so.
sign a pure bill?
Yeah, rightly so.
And they will go to the ballot box with that idea.
Yeah.
In their head. And who knows? Trump tested negative for COVID. So I just got notice that Melania did too. Unknown to me, Barron had it, but without symptoms. He's good to go.
Oh, weird.
So the whole family is negative. And Trump went back out on the campaign trail, and that just pissed everybody off.
Of course it would. Especially Joe and the 4 people that showed up in a parking lot. You could hear the Trump supporters going 4 more years a couple blocks away where they were blockaded off. But you could hear them louder than you can hear Joe.
Yeah. And so that makes it hard for a lot of people to believe that the polls are correct again.
Right.
He can't get anybody to show up. So how's he getting everybody to vote for him?
Yeah, well, we always talked about how bad the polls were even with the last election, showing Hillary at such a lead, and, well, that didn't happen.
Yeah. So it looks like it, and, that's our next question. Is he losing? Is Trump losing? And why are we seeing trends that would suggest that he will pull off a win? One thing, we're seeing a lot of Jews for Trump. They've created signs that said, if it's good enough for Israel, it's good enough for me. And Trump 2020. I mean, could a Republican pull the Jewish vote for the first time because of what he's done in the Middle East and what he did for Israel?
Right. Well,
it's a small voting block, but you got to remember, 1% changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who else? What does Wall Street know? We know Wall Street wants Trump to stay in office because the economy is trending in a great direction. And the numbers, Wall Street is up. Do they have their own polls, just like the campaigns do, that are showing something different than the mainstream media is sharing with us? It's what happened last time.
Oh, good question. Yeah, very good question. Or are they just trending upward because of COVID and coming back to the norms, maybe? I don't know.
Well, and now that Trump's had it, you don't really have to worry about that. I look at Biden, and I have to worry about what's going to happen if he gets it.
Right.
I mean, Trump apparently did better with the COVID than his wife. That's 15 years younger than him.
Yeah, that's
20 years. I don't even know how many years separates them. So he's a machine.
Well, yeah, it'd be interesting if they took Trump's blood and made some antitoxins and seeing what would happen if you injected those antitoxins in a Democrat.
Yeah.
I love it.
It'd be like those sci-fi movies where they go up and smoke, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I guess that Twitter is exploding today because once Biden decided he wasn't going to debate Trump last week because Trump had COVID, he scheduled a town hall.
Okay.
Well, now that Trump's better, NBC decided to do a town hall with Trump. So tomorrow night, you've got Biden on ABC, Trump on NBC, and everybody's pissed at NBC for scheduling it at the same time as Biden. So, I don't know why they don't understand that all's fair and love, war, and politics.
Yeah, just go to YouTube the next day and see the other candidate. So, not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, it's a big deal if you want ratings. I think that's who should be upset.
Yeah, the networks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Instead of 2 possible days of good viewership, they're getting 1.
Exactly. If socialism takes over, if the Democrats win the White House, the Senate, and Congress, can we really blame some of the rhinos that took Trump so personally that they abandoned his causes? And I'm talking about Mitt Romney, Mike Lee, Ben Sasse, and others. Had they voted for the ticket, the conservative agenda, the Republican as a whole, would there be this kind of issue? And would we be facing a possible socialistic takeover of the United States of America?
Yeah, that is a scary thought. Definitely.
I think had they stood behind the party, the cause, the conservative cause, that we would not be staring at this, because all the recipe for re-election is a great economy, and a great economy.
Right.
And no new wars. Sometimes they care about that. Okay? But the great economy, and you go, well, we have this COVID pandemic economy. No, we're coming out of it. I mean, the COVID pandemic on a large scale was about a month long.
Right.
The bad economy. I realize there's still people out of jobs, but a lot of people still don't want to go back to work. You can get a job anywhere in this town if you want one. I'll tell you that right now. Every place has got a help one sign.
Wow.
And they got more than one job opening, and I'm not just talking about, low-paying jobs. I'm seeing all sorts of job openings.
Wow, good to hear.
So you've really got to wonder, this and the Lincoln Project that was formed by Kellyanne Conway's husband, and of course he kind of left it, which are Republicans that are going to vote for Biden.
Right.
Really? I mean, just because you don't like Trump, you would hand over the country to this.
Yeah, they would decimate the party.
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Wow.
Okay, for our friends out there that always want to know about the vaccines, Eli Lilly and Johnson & Johnson have paused the vaccine trials. Is this reassuring, or should we be concerned? These are really big trials. A couple of people have gotten sick. We talked about it last week. People get sick in trials all the time. And there's so many people, they just stop. They try to determine whether it's the drug or not. It really looks like it's not the drug. People are responding well. They're getting ready to start testing 12-year-olds and under for how it's going to be for children.
Okay.
So I think really we should be assured that science is in charge here, not politics, and not get all upset about it. In fact, the UK has had its spies on the vaccine race you know, because of the political influence, and they say it's all above board. Politics is not interfering in the science of the vaccine race.
Oh, good. Good.
So we can rest assured. Now, there's some other rumors out there, aren't there? There are some rumors surfacing about SEAL Team 6 in Benghazi.
Oh, right. I was positive what you were talking about there. Yes, we talked about that earlier, and in my head, we've already talked about it.
Yeah, I do that.
Yes, so a CIA whistleblower has named names on the Benghazi and SEAL Team 6 and money to Iran, shut up money to Iran. So it's just kind of hit the news waves today. So I don't know. I haven't had time to look into it much. Have you?
No, I have not. And I got a little sidetracked with this Hunter Biden. And we got, some substantiation that this wasn't just, one of those conspiracy theories.
Right.
But this Benghazi thing's starting to look real, too.
Right. And I definitely would agree that we should talk about that next week.
I do too, and we don't always agree, but life's a journey. Boy, is it crazy right now. So stay with us, everyone. Thanks for listening. Godspeed to all of our listeners. Godspeed to you, Connor.
Godspeed you too, and thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya.